Hello and welcome back to Luke-N-SHAE'S place. I hope everybody's enjoyed their day. Everybody was wearing their smile. Welcome back. We have our Red Heart Letter segment tonight, and we are going to get started with that. But before we do, please like, share, and subscribe because when you like our podcast, it grows. Other people out there can find us. When you like our podcast, it gets us growing. Basically, we need to grow our podcast, and it lets other people see our content. When you share, that also grows our podcast. So please share with your family and friends, and subscribe because when you subscribe, that gives us a bigger platform as well, and it's absolutely free, and it gives you notifications when we're posting live streams and when we're doing content. Luke, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm blessed today. How are you this beautiful day?
I'm glad to hear. I'm blessed. I had a great day, good Friday, and all smiles.
Uh-oh.
Are we gonna? I'm looking forward to this Red Heart Letter.
Well, yeah,
See
we
what
gotta
we
get.
got going. Okay, got it posted right up there. Let me see if I can get it on my end here. Let me see here. You want to read it, Luke, or you want me to read it?
Well, you can read it. If you don't, if you want me to read it, I'll read it.
Oh, either way, it doesn't matter. You sent it over here so I can see it on my end. Okay, so all right, let's get started with this Red Heart Letter Friday. So it says here, I told my husband. Let me see. Let me just make sure I go. Okay, because it's a little, what you sent me is a little blurry, but okay. It says, I told my husband 1.5 months ago I cheated on him. He told me he knew the whole time. His exact words, I know already. We didn't argue or anything like that. He just went to bed and that was it. The next morning I woke up and he was gone. It's been almost 2 months and I haven't heard anything from him. I called his work and they said he he quit on the spot. Wow. I also talked to his brother and his brother said he moved and my husband knew about the cheating for 8 months and only been with the other guy for 9 months. And I didn't have relations with him until 3 months in. I didn't know how he knew that long and didn't say a word to, and he didn't say a word to me. I'm going to stop right there before I even go any further. So, yeah, it's kind of blurry. So, bear with
Oh,
me on my end.
you
But,
want me to take over?
okay, so just let's just pick that little part apart because there's a whole nother section. So, it sounds like, okay, this woman was cheating for 9 months. Her husband knew about it already. I don't know. It seems like his brother said he knew for 8 months. She told him. So I don't know if he was waiting for her to come to him and confirm it, but he left. She hasn't talked to him in 2 months. She called his job, and his job said he quit on the spot. So he moved somewhere, and she doesn't have any communication. All right, that sounds all right. Let's keep it moving. So the next part says bills are coming due, and a lot of it under my name, like my car, school loans, credit card, and my mom's apartment that he got her under my name that he pays for. I don't make that much to pay my credit card, and we had separate bank accounts for, let me see, for
The
the whole
whole
marriage. Yeah, because it's cut off for the whole marriage. So I can't take any money from him to pay the bills. What should I do? Huh. And then it says his brother won't tell me where he is, and bills are stacking up, and my mother's medical bills are due, and he paid for all that. Should I, let me say, should I call a lawyer? Well, it sounds like you have a big issue going on there, sister, because, yeah, I don't know. It seems like, yeah, the bills are coming in. And that seems like to be the major concern for her. Should she call a lawyer? At this point, what do you think about that, Luke? I was trying. Next time you're gonna have to read it because it's kind of cut off on my end, so I don't want to miss anything. But what do you think about that?
Well, the way I see it, it kind of like, for me, it just overlooked it. It overshot the cheating part. So, and she went right into the business side of it.
The
Well,
bills, yeah.
yeah, it was like, it ain't I care about him, or I was thinking about him, or I did anything wrong. Since he knew about it, it was good. And then she did tell him, which is good. But at the same time, there's no remorse. Like, I'm not losing nothing. I lost somebody paying my bills. So
That's what it sounds like,
yeah,
because
I
it
lost.
sounds like the mother, he's paying for her mother's bills as well, as far as her mother's apartment. Her mother's medical bills are stacking up.
So the
Sweetheart,
big
at
question,
what point was that all you had your husband for? Because that's what it seems like. Because that I don't see the remorse. And okay, when she said he knew for 8 months, I don't even know how he knew for that long. It's almost like she's more concerned that she got caught and not the fact of the action behind it. The fact that you were
but I
cheating on
think,
your husband, I don't hear the remorse for that part. I hear, wow, he caught me, but I need these bills paid still.
I think you overlooking the bigger picture of what wasn't said. And the bigger picture is this man was paying all of this, and you had the audacity to cheat.
That's what
If
yes,
I'm
exactly.
that, if I'm that heavily into it, see, this is the thing. Like, we had did a video one time with the lady that had the 3 kids. Okay, and then she still left her husband. The kids was, I'll never forget it, 4, 6, and 8. But the problem that I see with that whole thing, you're too invested in that. With this man paying all these bills, how in the world could you even think to cheat? It will be like, okay, well, this cat paying all my bills. And now all you concerned is like, okay, he was just a PayPal, because all I needed him for was to pay these bills because I was
Yeah,
going outside. So I didn't have no type of bond to him. I didn't have no type of connection to him. I was going to go, like I said, I just needed him to pay the bills. And so
that's what it sounds
I'm
like to
more,
me.
I'm more concerned with the letter being written. I'm looking for the letter from him, because if he was paying all of this and doing all of this, and all he got was the other side of cheating, that's crazy. Like I said, his story will be more composed to this right here. This is crazy that she's saying, well, should you get a lawyer? No, you need to get your life straightened up.
And what's she gonna do with a lawyer? Because
She's
she's
gonna
the
get
one
half,
that was stepping outside of her marriage.
but
And that's
she's
what
still
I
gonna get
said too. I said the same thing. Like, she sounds like she just needed him for the bills aspect of the marriage. She didn't want him for anything else. It sounds like, okay, now that part is out the door. She was having her cake and eating it too out here with whoever, but now, okay, the other side piece that she had wasn't coming out of his pocket, so now she needs the husband to come pay the bills, and it sounds like that's her only concern. That's why I said I don't hear any remorse for the cheating. I just hear, come pay these bills. Even though I cheated on you, that's what she's worried about. It looks like we have a comment in the chat. Okay, Harper, thanks for commenting. And it says, looks to me like an expensive lesson is being learned. Yeah. And honestly, if she wants to go get a lawyer, it's going to backfire on her because she was the one stepping outside of her marriage.
no, she's still into it's according to where she at. She's still gonna get half, regardless. She's still gonna get half.
That
That's why I
doesn't.
said it's nothing in marriage today for a man because he doesn't win in anything. See, because like I told you, I seen a lady, we could probably watch the video tomorrow. She married two men, and she married them with the notion of divorcing them. And she divorced them because she wasn't happy. And she got half of both of them. And she got one of the men to pay for the next lawyer. See, it's like I said, it's nothing in marriage for a man today because you're going
Well,
to
I
lose
would
the case.
now just from real life examples, because I do know people who have been divorced or gotten divorced, and it doesn't always work in a woman's favor. Now, back in the day, possibly, but today, no. I know actual stories of women who may have thought they were going into the courtroom getting X, Y, and Z, but that didn't happen.
Well, see,
And the judge ruled in
I
the
beg
husband's
to differ.
favor for the
I can,
most part.
I beg to differ because I deal with family court all the time. See,
Okay,
no,
so, but what
they
I'm
going
saying is, I know somebody that really happened to.
and
So I
okay, but
guess it
you
might
can.
depend on the judge
See,
and
that's
the
what I'm
whole
saying.
situation.
All right, but that's what I try to. That's what when I said that to you yesterday. We will go with knowing one person that did that. See, I know a billion that didn't get that. That's the
Okay,
point I'm making.
well,
So, like I said, we could watch the tape tomorrow where the girl was marrying men just to divorce them, and she was coming out with half. Yeah, you might, like I say, like she could have got
when
that
there's
particular
cheating involved, so if the female cheats, that's what I'm saying. When there is cheating, though, when
again.
there's cheating,
She's
you're
still,
saying that the woman,
she's
there's
still,
no
she's still
punishment for
entitled
the
to
woman.
half. She's going to take half of your stuff, and she's going to take your kids. This is how it works. That's why I just said it's nothing in marriage for a man. That's why they say that all the time because they're a man. Because what the legalities of marriage today is in your favor. Family court is in a woman's favor. That's what we're saying. It's in your favor. At this point in time, you can go and cheat on a man. As a matter of fact, the young lady that I'm gonna show you tomorrow because she was on Kendra. It was a Kendra G program. Okay, Kendra G podcast, and the lady was marrying men to divorce them, and she was getting half. That's why she was doing it because in any case, the man doesn't win. That's the point. You
That's
don't win.
sad. I mean, listen, I get it, but if we have that, what you're saying is, what is the point of getting married at the end of the day? The way you just said it, that what is the point? I
No, it's
mean,
not. What is the point?
that's to me,
It's what the
that's
man just
beyond me
said.
crazy to hear that because if she's the one cheating, how is it working in her favor? That's why I don't know. Somebody in the chat, anybody look that up. Just I want to know if I don't know if it's different rules for different states when it comes to that, but if there's infidelity in a marriage, is that automatic? So what's the point of going to court if the woman's automatically going to win the case?
Well, they
That's
still going,
crazy.
regardless of what, they're still going to take care of her. If he was, he's the breadwinner. That's how that works. If he making the most money, she still has to get taken care of. She's still entitled to half his stuff. That's why men are not getting married because it's not set up for you to win. See, that's where the marriage thing really dropped off at because family court is one sided. Only person gonna win is the woman
Well, see,
because when she
my
at
thing
best.
is with that whole thing is when you say that's why men aren't getting married, who the heck gets married with the mindset of having a divorce in the first place? People
Well,
aren't getting married for the right reason. Who goes into a marriage thinking divorce? I'm not
okay, but
thinking that.
you have to.
Who goes into it like,
You,
oh, if this
you
ends,
as
she's gonna have every.
you as a woman,
That's where it's broke right there because you're
you
already
as
going in it
you as a
negative.
woman, you as a woman might go with that mindset. But a man goes in, has to go in with that mindset because see, if he comes in with money and he marries a woman, the woman can still okay, it's the same thing. The lady in the video said she wasn't happy, right? Remember the video we did? We did the reaction to? Remember, she
Yeah.
just said she wasn't happy. She's entitled to have. That wasn't his fault neither. See? So that's why men are saying they're doing different things. Because again, it's
Different
not in
things
our
like
faith.
what? I'm saying that. I mean, that's sad. If that's the case, that's a sad thing because if she's cheating on him, and yeah,
And so in that case,
I don't
did you
know.
look? She wasn't. This particular lady wasn't even concerned with the man's feelings. She wasn't concerned with how it affected him. She was only concerned now with getting her bills paid that he was paying. See?
And she said she doesn't make that much, and he was paying for everything. That's stupid on her part. And thank you for writing in to us. I appreciate it, but I have to be honest that not even just for money. Did you even love your husband? Was there, because that's a 9-month relationship that you had with someone else, and you're expecting your husband to pay for the bills. And I honestly don't think he should be paying for your mother's apartment. I don't think he should be paying for anything after you had a whole nother relationship with someone else. To me, I feel like you've already moved on. So he packed his stuff and he left. That's why he hasn't reached out to you for 2 months. And you're looking for him to still pay for something. I don't know if they have kids together. Wait, did it say if they had kids together?
No, I don't
Because
think.
if they don't have kids together, that should just be a clean court case. If that's the case, you don't have any kids, then hold on. Let me read the chat before I read the red heart letter again. Let me see. Countries and states, marital
The
assets
one before
are
that. The one,
divided based on
the
what
one
is
that's on the
deemed,
screen.
huh?
This one before that. That's the one that's on the screen.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Okay. Harper says, is that the same one or is that?
No, that's not the same one. That's the one before
Okay.
you was just reading.
In most places, divorce settlements and assets divisions depend on several factors, including the specific laws in the jurisdiction, the length of the marriage, and any, what is that?
Nuptial.
Prenuptial agreements, and many. Okay, and there's another part to it. It says countries and states marital assets are divided based on what is deemed fair rather than strictly half. And cheating may influence the proceedings in some way. However, in many places, the fact that one spouse cheated does not necessarily mean that the cheater will lose their right to a portion of the marital assets or alimony. If the man is the primary breadwinner, he may still be, okay, so he may still be responsible to, I don't,
Like I said, there's
my
nothing in
thing is,
there
it
for men.
sucks when you think about it, because, like I said, you go into a marriage hopefully with the right mindset. You said that there was a woman that you saw that went into a marriage just to
Yeah.
divorce men to get who does this? Is
And
where things are lost. That when
she ended up
people are
getting the
doing
first
stuff like
husband
this.
because she went to court. The first husband had to pay for her lawyer to fight against him. He had to pay for her lawyer. She took half of his stuff, and at the time she was pregnant by the next man. See? She's already pregnant. We'll watch it after this. I'll show it to you.
That's
And she
crazy.
was already pregnant with the next man's baby, and she was moving on. And she ended up divorcing that one too and taking half of that one. And then she was on Kendra G, and she was dating this DJ.
Well, we'll have to look. Well, let's get back to this lady though, because that's a whole nother red heart letter. That sounds like, yeah, that's interesting. But I'm gonna read the red heart letter again. I'm gonna attempt to, because, like I said,
I'll
when
read
it
it
came
because
on my end, it was blurry. You gonna read it? Okay, thank
I'll
you.
read it because it's big over on this end. Because I'm gonna just put it back up here. Let me see.
Yeah, because I want to answer this woman who wrote in. And like you said, I'm surprised she wrote in. She's asking, what should she do? Should she call a lawyer? She needs to call on Jesus, because that's, to me, I feel like you want your husband to still pay for everything and pay for your mother's apartment, but you cheated on him like he was nothing, like for 9 months. So
That's crazy. Well, it says, I told my husband, what is it, 1.5 years, or 1.5. Okay. I told my husband 1.5 months ago, I cheated on him. He told me he knew the whole time. His exact words were, I knew already. We didn't argue or anything like that. He just went to bed, and that was it. The next morning, I woke up and he was gone. It's been almost 2 months, and I haven't heard anything from him. So I guess he got up and left right then. He didn't even go to sleep.
I
No,
wouldn't either.
no, it sounded like what was it? Forrest Gump. Remember the girl left for when Jenny left Forrest Gump in the bed.
Oh, she did her business, and the next morning she was out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says I called his work, and they said he quit on the spot. I also talked to his brother, and his brother said he moved, and my husband knew about the cheating for 8 months, and
What?
only been with the other guy for 9 months, and
Only.
I didn't have sex with him until the third month, 3 months in. I don't know how he knew for that long, and didn't say a word to me. Bills are coming due, and she got dude. Bills are coming due, and a lot of it is under my name. My car, my school loans, my credit card, my mom's apartment. He got her under my name that he pays for. See, I don't think
Sounds
I
like
could.
he was smart.
No,
Sounds
that
like he
wasn't.
was smart by putting things all in her name, though. All her stuff is in her name, and it
But
sounds like that's
he
going to
was.
be in his
He
favor in
was.
court.
But he wasn't. No, he was still paying for it though. So at the end of the day, he was paying.
Yeah, he
I
was
don't.
paying, but now he rolled out. So yeah,
I don't make that
tough.
much to pay my credit cards off, and we had separate bank accounts for the whole marriage. And so then she said, so I can't take no money. I can't take none of his money out of his account because we had separate separate bank accounts. It says
Wow.
so that's what you basically said. I can't take no money from him to pay the bills. What should I do? His brother won't tell me. I don't even know how you even go to his brother after doing all this. His brother
Yeah.
won't tell me where he is. And the bills are stacking up. And my mother's medical bills are due. See, he was paying the mother's medical bills as well. And he
Wow.
paid all of that. Should I call a lawyer?
Listen, first of all, I want to know what she's trying to call a lawyer for. He's gone.
She's gonna get her
Okay,
half.
yeah, his family not telling her where he is. Okay, but again, in the letter, I'm not hearing anything where she feels bad for stepping outside of him for 9 months. Okay, she's more concerned with how did he know for 8 months that I was with somebody else. He probably knew, okay, and he kept things going. He probably just wanted to hear it from her mouth. And or when she told him, then he left. That was confirmation.
No,
Okay.
I think yeah, that
That
already.
means when he left, everything left. That means his bank account, no more paying for his mother-in-law's apartment and her medical stuff. No. Let me read what Harper said in the chat. I'm trying to see make sure I didn't. Okay. Harper. Luke, can you read Harper's? I don't know what message that we left off.
It's right there. It
Which
says
one?
the hurt husband that left the cheating wife should just let her have the house and all the bills. And that's what it sounded like he did. She can move as her mom into the house with her. He is not obligated to take care of her mom. See,
No, he's not. He shouldn't have. Thank you, Harper. Yeah.
but that's why I don't think I could have been cheating on him. If he's taking care of all that, you probably
Uh,
need to chill out.
there's another comment under that. So she didn't know. Okay, so she didn't know that he knew when he put everything in her name. That's what I was saying. This woman needs to leave the cheating game. So yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Everything is in her name. She just named all the things that was in her name. And she, let me see. Harper said exactly, Luke, what you just said. She said exactly. She basically walked right into that one. She thought she was being sneaky, and he was smart by he never got a joint bank account with her. Something about this tells me that he kind of knew how she was, her character, or he might have just was hoping that that didn't happen, but it did, and the process thereof, he already had her stuff in her name. There's
Yeah,
nothing really tying,
yeah,
except for that they were married.
see, but that's what I was marveling at. See, he wasn't there to try to cheat back. See, he packed this stuff up. He didn't say nothing. Got the heck on. I'm out the door. Why would I stay in this? Because you can't fix it. This thing is over. At this point in time.
Okay. So let me ask that. That's good because we did another red heart letter. We did a lot of red heart letters, but there was cheating in the relationship. And so when we talk about marriages, right, and we talk about grace, because we've talked about giving grace and forgiving. So at the first time someone cheats in a marriage, that's what I'm asking. When someone cheats, everybody should just throw in the towel because you said that it's not fixable when somebody cheats. So what is marriage counseling for? What is therapy for? What is, if that's at the first sign of something, we just walk away. And then I think of the high divorce rates because I feel like it's almost like girlfriend and boyfriend stuff. Because if you do something to me, or if I don't like something about you, or if I'm bored with you, I can just break up with you. But this is a marriage we're talking about. This is not a girlfriend and boyfriend. So when you just said this is not something you can fix, he just packed up. So is it because the woman cheated? Because there's been times where the man has cheated and we're being told we should give grace because men, sometimes they don't mean nothing by cheating. That's just the feeling for them. They don't love her. They love their wife. They just are built with so much testosterone they don't know what to do with it. So I'm trying to understand that. Are you only making that comment because the woman cheated? So the marriage is not fixable?
Okay, no. When we read the story, this man was paying her mother bills. He was bending already over backwards. If all of that he did couldn't stop her from going outside of him, what else could he do?
Well, see, all we hear is money, though, from
No, no,
what
no,
we're given in the letter. We
no.
we that's all. So financially, I'm
Let
not.
me
First
ask
of all, finances are not going to keep me with someone. There has to be more than just somebody's paying all the bills in a marriage. Yes, I'm going to love and respect my husband. He's paying the bills,
okay,
pat on the
see,
back, like great job. But
there's two
marriage
different
is
things.
so much more than
Well,
finances.
marriage in itself is about duty. That's why the Bible tells a man to love his wife, and then it tells him how, like Christ loved the church.
Yeah.
That was duty. So he was paying the bills. That's what he's supposed to do. A protector, a provider. He was doing his part. And in doing his part, she still found that wasn't enough. And she went outside of him. Now, let me ask you a question. Do it sound like she care about him?
I already said it doesn't sound like
No,
she
no, no.
loves
But
him.
you
She just
asked,
loves his bank
but
account.
we're trying to answer your question.
Yeah,
Because
and
you're
I just
saying,
said I already said
I
no. She does.
no,
She
but
couldn't possibly.
no, but the point I'm saying, you're saying, was I saying it because she's a woman?
It's a
I'm saying it
question.
because of the story. The
No,
story
it's
says
a question. I'm just asking a question because you said that the marriage is not fixable, and I know it's like. So, what do we have marriage counseling for?
okay.
What do we have?
There's
So,
no
at the first sign,
okay, there is no counseling that could fix that because see, he was doing what a man was supposed to do. That's what he was required to do. He can't do no more.
mm-hmm.
And she was still, even with him paying the mama bills, the
So
hospital bills,
okay.
the rent, he was doing all of that.
So not to get off a topic with that, because he sounds like a great guy that was paying bills. But when you say he was doing all that he was doing, that's what I'm saying. There's so much more. When you say, okay, marriage is a duty, there's so much more in a marriage than just making sure the bills are paid.
Okay, let
There's
me ask
so
you a
much
question.
more in a marriage
Let me
than
ask you a
just
question.
that. Yeah,
Let me
he's
ask you,
paying the bills. That's great. And
what did
I
what
mean,
did
I feel
what did
bad for him
okay,
that he
so
was cheated on.
what did
But
Ruth marry Boaz for?
she married Boaz because, yeah, she was picking the scraps off his field and he could provide. Yeah.
There you go. Because that's what a man is supposed to do. That's what the marriage is. I'm here to provide. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to provide and protect. He was doing that. He was bent over backwards. That's what a man does. He is
Okay.
supposed to pay. So he was doing what God asked the man to do in a relationship. That's
Hmm.
all he could do. There was no more he could do. And in that whole process, she didn't still care about him.
Yeah.
At the end of it, all she was concerned with was how her bills were going to get paid. See, but it
Hmm.
was all about money. So let's go there. That's what it was about. Because she
Yeah.
only needed him to pay the bills. She only right now going, well, you know what? I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Because the dude I got now ain't gonna pay these bills.
Yeah.
I want to get with this dude and have this guy continue paying the bills. But this guy decided one morning, he said, I'm gonna go to sleep and I'm out. So now that's what this was about. He knew what his work was. So that's why he
Yeah.
got well. Ain't no use
Yeah.
of
That's good.
and fix this.
Yeah.
You can't fix it. If this wasn't enough to stop
So
her from outside of me,
that's my thing. And that's just me. Like I said, I'm asking that question for viewers and for understanding, also for this person here. So if she's ever in this situation again, cheating is not the way. So when cheating occurs in a marriage, if the one party's doing the right thing, right? If
mhm.
let's say the wife is doing the right thing, she's being the help and she gets cheated on. So there's no fixing that marriage. There's no point
No,
in fixing it.
like I just said, I listened to the marriage and I listened to the letter. She don't sound like she care about him.
No,
And
I'm not
so
talking about her right now. I'm saying in a marriage, since we're talking about this, for other people who just heard what we were talking about. In a marriage, you're saying, okay, if somebody's being unfaithful, but that other person is doing what they're supposed to do in that marriage, then they should just throw the towel in.
we're not saying what I just said. We have two different things happening. This a person can still be connected to their wife or their husband, but what she is not is she's not connected. So the relationship was over. You can't. I don't base it off of one relationship that it fits all. What I just said in this particular case, there was no more he could do. That's why I'm on
Okay.
this one. Now, in
Yeah.
the other one, we had a red hot letter where the man told her that, look, I'm already messing with another woman. I'm trying to have a kid. See, that door is closed too.
Yeah.
Door is closed. Now, the person went out and say he made a mistake and he was sorry for the mistake. And this is how this worked. Okay, now you got something to work off of. Then they can say, well, we can go to counseling. But right,
Yeah.
counseling can't fix that. Counseling can't fix her heart. Counseling can't make her
That's
body.
true. Yeah, she's already gone. This lady's already gone. This lady who wrote in, she's gone, obviously, because she's more worried about the bills than she is, okay, that she even cheated in the first place. We got some, let me see.
The man, Harper says the man accepted the truth and knows that if he went to marriage counseling with her, she would be just as be slicker the next time and not get caught. Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. See, because there was nothing here. She done did all she could do. And Harper says you can't fix what doesn't exist. She was in a long-term relationship with someone else. There you go. See,
Yeah, 9 months. Yeah, that's true.
but that's
So
what I
no, that's
can.
good. So she's talking about, should she call a lawyer? Yeah, you go ahead
So
and do that, because at this
all
point,
she was concerned with was the money. See,
that's
that's all
all
she
she's
was
worried
concerned.
about. And now her mother, the apartment that her husband's no longer going to be paying for his mother-in-law, I'm sorry. I mean, when I think about that, and like I like to ask questions all the way around so that we can get a good view of the whole conversation as far as, because we can only assume with the husband, he's going out the door. But with her, if she's thinking that this marriage is even gonna be a thing anymore, it wasn't, because she gave up her marriage the moment that she went into this long-term relationship with this other person. And if you're going to cheat, not that cheating is ever good, why would you cheat with somebody who, you got somebody who's doing all this, you got, it sounds like a great husband, why would you go cheating with somebody that seems like a scrub to me? What is that about? That's horrible. You shouldn't be cheating at all, but still, now you're worried about your husband to pay all these bills. And
She
that's
the
all it
plan
sounds like she wanted them for. So she was
the
basically
plan
using her
was
husband.
the plan was to get with the next guy and just let that guy keep paying bills.
That's crazy.
That's the plan. But the man was smart because I like the fact that he didn't say nothing. He didn't let it bother him. He didn't go crazy. He didn't do nothing crazy and get himself in trouble. He went to bed, got up, and left that morning out. That's what you're supposed to do. That's how that works. Now, I ain't gonna stay here.
I don't know if I would have went to bed and stayed till the next morning, but bless his heart,
Well, she don't know he stayed the
I
next
would have
morning.
left
He got
that
up and he was
night. But
gone. But you don't know if he stayed. She said she got up and he was gone, and then
oh,
she
he
didn't
was
talk.
gone. He might have packed his stuff up that while she was sleeping. Yeah,
No,
she was
he
sleeping
had
comfortably.
planned that when he first found out. And I
Harper
guess
Harper
he was
said another comment. She never said she wanted him back. She wants his money back. Yeah, that's right.
exactly. See?
That's all she wants is the
But
money. She
that's the
doesn't
only
want
reason I
him.
was saying that
It
relationship was
doesn't sound like she ever, I don't know if she ever wanted him, but if that's how the relationship has been all this time, she was just looking at her finances getting paid. Like she said, she still has student loans and all that. Oh, that's horrible. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't have anything good I can tell her except for she needs to maybe go look for another job then. Because if you're thinking that your
you
husband
know,
needs to be paying for your
she gonna
mother's
get
apartment and all
she
this
gonna
when
get
you've
her
been gone
half.
for 9 months, no.
She gonna still get her half. She gonna get the house. She probably get if they had two cars, she'll get one of those. She's not gonna lose in this. So right, she gonna get a lawyer and she's not gonna lose. When I say not gonna lose, see, they're not gonna take nothing from her, but whatever he got, they're gonna take from him. And they're gonna give it to her, regardless of what, because from right judging right now, she ain't got nothing for him to take anyway.
And you
That's
know
why
something, that could be messy too, because being that the husband can't be found right now and his family's not telling her, all she has to say is he abandoned the marriage. She could get a lawyer and say, I don't even know where my husband is. He
well,
hasn't come home in 2 months.
see
And
that's
then she can
where the
totally say
cheating
he
come in.
abandoned the marriage pretty much.
No, but that's where the cheating came in. And he can always his defense is he left because of the cheating.
Well, yeah, he can say that. But now, unless he has ocular proof, it's going to be her word against his, basically. He's going to, unless he has proof of the cheating, all she has to say is, look, he hasn't been at our residence for 2 months.
Again, he got
If since she sounds like she's all about the finances and the money,
but
she
no,
might
but see the
she
cheating
might do him dirty that way, and that's sad.
was
That's
still
horrible.
conflict. The cheating was still conflict with the abandonment. He didn't abandon her until after that. They gonna say
No,
why?
I know that, but when
I know,
she
but
goes
that's what
to
I'm
get a
saying. But
lawyer,
that's the
they don't
question
know
that
that.
that's it. No, but that's the question they're gonna ask. And in the process, he got witnesses who knew why he left. The brother knew why he left. The brother
That's
just had
true.
the wrong date.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
he knew she
Yeah.
was cheating, and the man is still there. It's not like the man is gone. You can't make the boyfriend disappear now. The boyfriend still is. She said she's still dating him at that time. But what I'm more conflicted with, why she haven't got the boyfriend to pay these bills.
That's why I said it sounds like he can, or I don't know
Now
that story, but
it sounded like he understood she was married and he began sleeping with her. And like you said, they waited till 3 months in before they she said before they started sleeping together. But at the same time, he wasn't trying to marry her neither because it was somebody else's wife already.
Yeah, and that's a shame because when you think about she had access to her husband's his bank account. So then you have to ask yourself, was she probably spending her husband's money on the boyfriend?
No,
That's
remember they had separate bank accounts. That's why she
yeah.
couldn't get the money out.
Oh, okay. So
So,
she didn't have access to it before. Okay. I know they had separate bank accounts, but I thought before he was just paying it
no,
on
that's
his
why
own. Okay.
she was hoping that if they had the same bank account, if she had access to it, then she would have continued paying the bills out of his money. She said she couldn't take his money. So, that's why I said that relationship was over because all it was for her was the finances that he was paying.
Yeah.
She's in jury because the guy done got up and left and no longer wants to pay none of those bills. But the new guy, I'm more concerned with why haven't you asked him? But the new guy took it like it was just a fling. It was a married woman, and so he was cool with her being married. Because I didn't seen a man be in a relationship like that, and the woman was like, "Well, I'm gonna leave my husband for you." He was like, "No, the only reason I was with you is because you had a husband."
That's crazy.
I,
That's yeah.
yeah,
That's
so like
yeah.
I said,
That's I mean
it's not like
I
she
know
ran
we're
into one.
supposed to be answering her question.
Yeah, but she
I wish
answered
I
that.
had more information because like I want to know why did you do that? Like why did you cheat on this man? And just from us assuming, because that's all we're left to do is assume from the letter, he doesn't sound like he was a bad guy at all. Like Luke said, he was a provider. He was doing all that, and there's nothing in your letter showing that your husband was anything other than that.
You
So it
don't
just
think
sounds like you took him for a ride, and
you
now
don't
you're asking, should you call a lawyer? You should
you
call on
don't think
Jesus because
eh,
that's it is heartless. I'm
see
sorry.
that's
I
the whole
told you I
thing.
was going to keep it
Which,
real. That's heartless.
do you think she would have done this if the law said if you cheat you get nothing?
I think you'll have a lower cheating rate if that was the case.
No, that's what I'm saying. But if they would have told her that if you got caught in the midst of adultery in that marriage, you get nothing. See,
They
but
should do that.
if I can do this and still come out with something, it's not that bad. Especially
Yeah.
if I don't sound like I care about the person, it's not that bad. But see, that's the point we're making. See, so like when we talk about what was that? Mary J. Blige's husband took money from her. See,
I don't know about
in
that.
those cases are rare. But see, like it was said, because she was more of the breadwinner because she made more money. So that's why she kind of lost in that. But what I'm saying here is, for so long, women have been able to do that. Where you know what, I could be completely wrong and still win. Matter of fact, if I wanted to get out of the relationship and still win, I can leave, I can cheat and go out and still get what I want because it is no ramifications for me doing this. Just like when they do that thing with grape, the grape thing, and
Yeah.
say that you raped them and it didn't happen, and then after that they find out the guy didn't do it. There's no jail time. There's no
And his
punishment.
whole career is messed up. His job is lost.
Doing
And
it.
yeah, that wow. I mean, women, I'm sorry. Luke, I listen, just listening to this stuff, I'm like, man, if I was a man, I don't know if I'd marry a I'm like, with all that, you
No, but
go
that's
into a marriage.
because
I guess as a female, I look at marriage and I'm like, oh my goodness, the dress shopping and you think of the happily ever after, the honeymoon, you think of, but
no. What's
all
up?
that, okay, because I never think of the end in the beginning. I don't think of the what could be. I think of this is going to be happily ever after. This is the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. I don't go in it looking for an end date, that unless God calls me home. I don't go in it looking at it like that. So when I'm hearing all the legalities for the divorces and yeah, it sucks because somebody could do this much stuff to somebody and still come out on top. That's not good.
No,
They
that's
need
the
to
way it goes.
change. They need to
But
change
see, that's
some laws with that.
no, but they was talking about that's what it was. When the government got involved with marriage, that's when you start getting this, because then it became the money making thing. So, like I say, family court is one sided, and you're not gonna win in family.
Even if the man goes and files against her, like he hasn't been home for 2 months, and I know she's probably watching, but what if he's out getting her papers served to her? It's still going to go that same way, huh?
Yeah, because see, okay, it's okay in this case right here. The young lady sound like she don't own nothing. See,
No.
she ain't got nothing. So in this case, he was the breadwinner. Whatever assets he got, he's about to split. If he owned 2 homes, he owned one now.
This is why people try to
Home that
get
he
people to
live in,
sign. This is why people go in it sometimes and say for their mate to sign that prenup, right? Because
but a prenup,
that
you
way,
know,
whatever
prenup
you
ain't
came
right.
into this
You know that, right?
with, that's what you're leaving with. But a lot of people are reluctant to even ask their mate to sign that because nobody's thinking someone's going to do these things to them. And it's sad to
So
say, like,
when
I
you
never
put
looked at it
somebody,
that way before, but if this is
yeah,
going on,
if you're signing a
maybe
prenup,
people should be signing that.
you are thinking somebody gonna do that to you. That's why you sign the prenup. That's the purpose of signing the prenup. It was a soccer player who was married to a woman, and the woman was trying to get. She ended up divorcing him because he had more money, but he unfortunately he had passed all his money to his mother, so all his money was in his mother's name, and she ended up paying him. But it's men have to do stuff like this to win. You're not gonna win straight up. If you go in there with some money, and like he sounded like he had money or he had a pretty decent run of things because he was paying all her bills and then even her mother bills. But that's what I was saying. In that case, it was nothing gonna make me go outside of that. Because at this point in
No.
time, to pay all these bills, I'm a chill out. I have to figure
Yeah.
out. We
Yeah.
got to know.
She wants to go. She wants to know if she should call a lawyer. What do you tell her when it comes to her question?
She should
Because
call a lawyer because she's going to still get half. And she might even get enough from him to even get him to still be paying them bills because he was taking
I
care of them
wouldn't
bills.
even want. Uh, that's making me aggravated, actually, to even hear that. Just from everything that I just read in this letter, and to know that this man from the letter probably didn't do anything but just be a husband, and this is the thanks he gets for that.
Yeah,
For
but they could have had
that's what I always say this. That people, and I've said this about sometimes people say I do to say I don't. It's like you walk down the aisle, you're saying I do to say you don't. Like, which one is it? Because
that.
your
That's
actions are
not.
saying you don't, but you at the altar said you do. You
But
take
see,
everything
that's
and you're
what we're
gonna.
saying. When the government took over, marriage became a business. It's not. It ain't about whether or not I care about you, I love you. That's why I said that's not there no more. You can very seldomly find where you got a people that are there. So if we would look at Jay-Z and Beyonce. That's a business. That's business. That ain't got nothing to do with and I'm not saying he don't love her and she don't love him. I'm not saying that. But all these things now is about business. Because at the end, I'm gonna see what I can get from you. Like when I first came here, girls didn't ask you what was your favorite color or what's your favorite food. They wanted to know your credit score. See, right out the
Well,
rip.
that's not odd. Yeah,
It's a
that's
business.
not odd. That is a good question, actually. That's a good question. And
And
yeah, I
other
think everybody should be asking that question. I mean, that's something that we learn to ask that, but you kind of shy away from asking that when you're on a date. But that is important to know. I mean, even for the man
it's
asking the
not
woman that,
important.
because
When you understand your role as the wife, you're supposed to have been a helpmeet. See, so you're helping that man reach that goal. whatever goal it was, that was your job as a
Reach
help.
what goal? What are you talking about?
Whatever goal he was trying to reach.
Oh,
When
I
you
thought you were
marry
still
that
talking
man,
about credit. I thought you were still talking about credit.
well, if his credit bad and you marry him, then that's in.
No, so this is my thing with that. And that's a good, I know that's off topic, but listen. If you're getting married, it's the same thing, equally yoked. I'm gonna add something to equally yoked, okay?
No,
I'm
but
gonna
man,
add this to equally yoked.
you do
Being
that.
equally yoked, my thing is when it comes to that,
Damn,
don't put yourself in that situation
I'm
because
pausing you right there. Because see, I'm
no.
telling you again, you can't say, see, this is why we can't live.
We were all taught not to go, you not supposed to no. Take on that. That's a lot of
Okay, so
baggage
let me ask you
because
a question.
no.
In the Bible, Hosea married a prostitute. See,
Uh,
this is how life. Okay, in that case, here we go. Then Boaz should have never married Ruth, then should he? See, we
but
can't
you're
do that.
talking about in today's time. Listen
How
though, listen to
it's
what you're
still the
talking
same.
about.
Okay, we still
You're
okay.
saying that a woman should
We
marry a
still have,
man and
man.
help him get to his goals with his credit,
We
but
still have the same God.
I
The
guess
God
it
that
depends
was
on why his credit is a certain
there.
way. I guess it depends on why his credit is a certain way. You have to be careful with
No,
that though, because
what you
that
have to
shows
do.
me that you have poor
Okay,
money
so
management.
you giving bad advice. You find a man that love you and work with him. God will take care of the rest. That's how that works. If you want a woman, find a
Okay.
woman that truly love you, and you'll work it out. That's what he designed you to be, a helpmate. See, the man wasn't perfect. He wasn't complete. That's why he created you. If he was perfect and complete, there would be no need for you. So that's your job. So that's why in every case, you're going to have the same thing. See, when as a woman, you're saying this. I'm saying, okay, with this mindset that you got, then Boaz should have never even talked to
So
Ruth.
that's the reason why I'm saying that, Luke, and it's not bad advice that I'm giving. The reason why I'm saying that, because I know I know so many people who have done the very thing that you said, and they got screwed with that
Well,
because they
because
went into a relationship
no,
and the person credit wasn't great
but
and
you
people's
miss,
credit wasn't great. Hold on. And
ma'am, you're gonna
that
have to tell the story
backfired
because
because they
all
might
I'm gonna
have
ask you one
gambling
question.
issues. They might have
That's one
issues
question.
buying things
Because see,
without
that's the thing.
compulsive
That's
buying.
where we're not evenly yoked. I have to marry a man that has a relationship with God. See, I don't care if the man shouldn't. You shouldn't be judging a man whether he's cute. You shouldn't be judging a man whether he got money. You should be judging a man when you getting married by his relationship
Yeah.
with
I
God.
mentioned
How well
equally
he is.
yoked. That's
So
why I
that's the point.
said with your credit score, that's why I was going there with that. We're not, I don't, equally yoked to me. Yeah, that doesn't mean, hey, our credit has to be the same score. But when I say that, you got to be careful telling people, hey, women, you could go get a guy with bad credit because you don't know. That tells me a lot
That's
about
not what I
you.
just said. See,
That tells
that's
me a
not
lot
what I just
about
said.
you. How can
What
you
I
be my
just said,
provider if you
what
have
I just
if
said
your credit's
is,
not great?
but that's what I'm saying. But you're basing your information off of women who pick wrong men. If you pick the wrong man, you're gonna get the wrong outcome.
That's why
That's
I'm
what we're
saying
saying. So
if you
again,
don't like his score, then don't go for his score. Apparently, this guy
I
must have
would
had good
listen.
credit,
I
and she
wouldn't
used
talk,
him.
ma'am.
This
I did
woman
not
used her
talk to a
husband.
woman. I wouldn't talk to a woman that asked me my credit score
That's
because
great. That's
that ain't got
I
nothing to
never
do with
asked
me being
anybody their credit
professional.
score. So let me just dispel that. But what I'm saying is there's been times in my life where I wish I had, because you don't know
But
what
if
that tells you a lot about somebody
so,
because then I have questions behind why is it so low?
Shay,
I want to know why it's so
the
low.
point here is again, if you're marrying the wrong man, that's when that's an issue. If that man doesn't have a relationship with God and he's not trying to do these things, then you shouldn't have married him. That says I don't marry. I don't got to know your credit score to know you're a bad person. But when you find the right person, as I told you about a friend of mine named David, when he ended up going and doing some time, he got out, couldn't find a wife. He ended up start working at
Okay.
McDonald's as a janitor. Now they own 3. His
Yeah.
credit wasn't that great, But if you find two people that love each other and they work it out like God said they're supposed to, you will work out fine.
So this is my thing. This is my rebuttal to that, because I know that there's a thing where you have a thing where you want to ask your women, and you said people should discuss how many partners they had before they, because that can hurt the person. How many people have you been with before me? That can hurt the person, right? Your credit score can hurt me. Hold on a second. Your credit score can hurt me, because if I get into a union with you and all of a sudden I don't ask you about your credit score and somebody's starting to come repossess cars in my yard, that's going to hurt me. Now,
see, but you keep
that's
saying
a
the
problem.
same thing. So was the man that you did and the man that you was having all this with, did he have a relationship with God?
No, I didn't say I'm being hypothetical.
Okay, so that's
here.
what no, ma'am, that's what I did.
I've known people that this happened to. I know people that this happened to.
Did he have a relationship with God?
I don't know. It wasn't my relationship. I'm just saying.
My point in saying this, that's the key. That's the main thing I need to look for. If I'm telling my daughter right now, his relationship with God is the most important thing. I don't care if he ugly.
So his relationship with God. Okay, I'm trying to understand that. So if he has a good relationship with God, wouldn't he be paying his bills on time? That's why I said I need to know why his credit's like that.
Ma'am, what I just said, if you marry the wrong man, you're just marrying the wrong men. Yeah. That's how that works. You cannot say, okay, so all the men that got bad credit are not good men.
But how can they be a provider? If I'm going to walk you down the aisle and trust that you're a provider, but you're coming into this with bad credit, how can you be a provider? That's the one job that you were asked to be, a protector and a provider. Okay, so with your bad credit, you sound like you're going to be a hindrance in our marriage.
What was her title?
She's the helpmeet, but I shouldn't be helping you before marriage.
There you go.
Harper said it. Okay, so absolutely not. He should fix himself up and then take a wife. Financially, baggage starts off, and let me see, it's so little. Starts off a marriage with unhealthy amount of stress, which can lead to divorce. I agree. That's baggage that you're coming. You should already be ready for a wife. You should be already a husband.
Well, let me ask you.
We come together.
I'm gonna ask you
to help me.
No. It don't work like that. You and Harper. No, this right here. We'll get both of y'all together. This is how this works. When a man proposed to you, don't you got the right to say no?
Yeah.
Okay, see, that's on you. If you're marrying a man,
okay, so that's why I said I'm gonna ask that. I would ask about the credit.
I wouldn't. I would stop talking to you from that point on. I wouldn't even be interested.
And why is that? Because that to me, somebody who's not going to answer that shows me that
that sounds like all I'm marrying you for. Because see, when she said that to me, because like I said, in Georgia, it's a business deal. What they're looking for is to make sure you got something. We're going to get divorced, and I want to make sure I can come out of this with something.
So if I show you my score, so wait a minute. If I come to the table and say, hey, I've worked hard, I fell off track here, but I built my score up to here now. I'm showing you, hey, we can actually get a mortgage. We can do some things together. But you're going to tell me that you're not going to talk to me anymore because I want to talk. Hey, I just want to make sure we can get some things, and no things are going to be repossessed in our marriage.
Again, that relationship will be over. I wouldn't even talk to you because see, right now, see, we just witnessed a woman who was taking money and she wasn't even halfway in love with the man.
But I just said I would show my score. I'm not a woman that would do
I'm not going to you. That's the point. A man is not talking to a woman for her money. I'm a provider.
But isn't it important? Okay, can I say something? It's important. Your credit in a marriage is important because I don't want to rent for the rest of my life. So if me and you get married and only I could put myself on a mortgage, I might not be approved. But when both of us can go on there, then we can get a house and actually buy a house. That is important.
Again, you're giving me all of this stuff when a woman marries the wrong man. You're not giving me the stuff when you got a hard-working man. Just like I just said, the brother got out of prison, had nothing. Now he owned 3 McDonald's with his wife. So I don't go into this. I'm not telling nobody to do nothing. I'm saying make sure you got a relationship with God. That's the key. Your credit score, all of that. And when you use my reference of having multiple sexual partners, because men know that when a woman has been sleeping with more than one man, she's not going to be faithful. So that's in a different type of thing. Because see, then you'll end up with the woman like we just had here. And so
So
now I say to her,
I don't want to have all these rebuttals. I know that having multiple partners before marriage could have lead to bonding issues. I don't think that if somebody was in relationships before you that they're gonna, that doesn't necessarily mean somebody could have an ex-husband doesn't mean she's gonna cheat on you. She was with somebody else.
what I just said,
I do agree that it messes up the
the whole
bonding,
thing. Man,
but
we didn't say sleeping with the ex-husband. We said having
I
multiple
didn't
people.
say that.
Ain't no
Having
man
a
gonna walk.
relationship before. So I don't agree that, okay, say you go into a relationship, you're asking a woman, how many people have you been with before me? She might said, I had 3 relationships before you, and I was intimate with those 3 men. Okay, that doesn't mean she's gonna cheat on you. That just means the bonding might not be right away. That's all. But
When you go, I'll tell you what, we'll go look at my group tomorrow. How many women, 80% of divorces in America are initiated by women, not because of cheating, but because they were unhappy. See,
yeah.
so when you got that, see, when you just witnessed, and when I just said to you that the man is going to lose, he's
Not
not
happy. That sounds like the bonding I just said. Yeah.
again. But that's why you can't bond. That's why the Bible tells a man, he say, marry the virgin of your youth. He didn't say marry the girl with the 3 kids. He don't tell you to marry the girl down the street. He said marry the virgin of your youth. For that reason, he would bond with you.
True.
You ain't got to worry about her going outside of you because she bonded with you. Me and my brother just had a conversation the other day. He married his wife from that point.
Okay.
See, she ain't going nowhere. That's the point. That's why she said do that. But if you don't have multiple sex partners, you're kind of bonded to all of these people. So that makes it
difficult. All that. Yeah.
So as soon as you're unhappy, you're bouncing. Again, 80% of women are now leaving marriages. Go look at the divorce thing. They're leaving the marriage. And they're saying it because they're not happy. We just did a whole thing where the lady said, I got a kid, 4, 6, and 8. And then she said, there's nothing wrong with the man. He's just not the man I wanted him to be. He would feel stressed out because he couldn't be the man she wanted him to be. So she left.
Yeah.
So now, see, when she leaves, she's entitled to half that we just talked about. And he had nothing to do with that. But whatever assets he had, she now gets half. And now she'll go with the kids, gonna take his kids with him, and then she'll go find another man. There we go.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
One of the dude asked her, said, what else gonna happen if the man do the same thing next to him? She said, I'm gonna leave again.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you do have some people out here that are just horrible. You know, that doesn't, not all women, those women don't represent us as a whole, because that's crazy. People are just out here doing the worst things. Harper said the man should also make sure the woman he chooses to marry is financially compatible. And let me see, that also decreases the chances that the woman is only there to use him financially. That's why I mentioned not just asking the man, hey, how's your credit score? I'm going to show you mine. So that dispels that whole notion that I'm trying to just marry you because of a certain score or whatever the case might be. But that's showing you, like, we can do some things together. Let's build an empire together. Let's do something. Because in our country, you can't do nothing without a credit score. Yeah, everybody's asking for that. That's the first thing they're going to ask you for.
Can a woman marry a man with no money?
Can she marry a man with no money?
No money, nothing.
Yeah, anything's possible. Yeah, that can happen.
What man is gonna marry a woman with a man? What woman gonna marry a man with no money?
I don't know. I'm sure it's happened. I don't know. I don't know any.
Like I tell you all the time, I could marry the girl at McDonald's. If you made $150,000, you're not marrying a man at McDonald's. So that's why we don't bring finances into it. The woman is not going. I wouldn't depend on her to come take care of me. I wouldn't be in the house with her and she paying the bills. Matter of fact, when you talk to the majority of women, if they make more than their husband, they would tell you they don't want to stay. They could. Matter of fact, our next podcast we're gonna do the next show we're gonna do.
So is not. So you're saying, okay, credit score is one thing. Is it not important to know what the person does for a living? Where do you work? Those things are important, Luke. You can't just get married not being blindsided with that stuff.
I said, don't be asking a man his credit score, because now you make it sound
crazy. All my life, I've heard people say that you need to know that. I've never asked, which is crazy. I never asked, but I was told that you should be finding that out before you get into that is a question that should come up, because in a marriage, if we both have our separate, first of all, we're not living together. We're dating, whatever. We're talking about marriage. We have to come together one day. We need to, that's important. There's things that in a marriage we are going to want to get. Like I said, nobody wants to rent. I mean, some people might.
Like I said,
but there's things that you.
I'll talk more with you, but see, that's not how life works. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that that's a thing. You might not ask right away, but it is important to know how somebody's score is in your marriage. Because like I said, everything that has to do with anything, when you're sitting down, you have to sign your credit with everything.
We need to wrap this up. You keep going on. We over an hour. But the point here is, no,
it's Friday night. So
you're the same thing. And if you're responding from a worldly perspective, the world would agree with you. God is saying, I'm in control.
Hold on a second. I am not responding from a worldly perspective. I am a child of God.
I'm asking the world, but if I'm asking
and as a married woman, your credit score is important.
If I'm asking the world a question about marriage, which is God's, that is a worldly response, because I'm looking for the world to respond. The world is going to respond in the way the world would answer. God ain't saying that, because see, God made Hosea marry a prostitute. Ruth was married to Boaz and she had nothing. If that's the case, then we wouldn't have talked to none of them. They wouldn't even be Bible stories. That's what I'm saying. It was a relationship with God that got you through. You're saying right now, I'm going more dependent on the finances. I need to know he got super credit before I get married to him.
I didn't say anything about, hold on a second. I never said anything about super credit. I said good credit. Super credit, nobody said that.
Okay.
And if I said I'm going to show my credit, I'm going to show my credit, so that person should not be fearful that I'm trying to use him if I'm showing him my credit score as well. Hold on. What did Harper say? It looks like a bunch of eyes. And she put, God does not author confusion, and God gives us, I don't know what she meant by T, but yeah, as far as that's just the only thing that I had.
Absolutely right. He's not the author of confusion, but at the same time, there have been men, like I said, how many women would marry a man with no money? Because the man is not there for you to take care of. If I got to take care of a man, then you shouldn't be with that man. So when that man asks you for marriage, you should say no. And that's what you're not allocating. What I'm saying is, I ain't going into no relationship with nobody with the business mindset. I'm going into it because, see, the Bible said I'm supposed to love. And love's supposed to conquer all. But
he said you're supposed to protect and provide. And with a bad credit score, you might not be able to provide, because with the prices going up and everything, rent is crazy. You need to own something. And if my husband and I can't buy a house, that might cause issues. If our cars are being repossessed, that's not good. That's stressful.
Can I ask one question? What is it, as a woman that's a follower, what is it that God can't fix?
God can fix anything, everything. Okay, but you shouldn't come into marriage not fixed. You shouldn't come into marriage not fixed.
Anything. What I just said is, I'm going to make sure you got a relationship with God.
You shouldn't come into marriage not fixed. You shouldn't come into marriage trying to fix stuff. You should already be ready for me to love and
Ma'am,
help.
see, that's why, like I said, we got it all wrong. God created you to be a helpmeet because the man was not perfect. So you were designed to help him meet what he had for y'all to become together. That's what this was about. See, the reason we got so many divorces is because that's not what it is. Today it's about
God
business.
never. I don't think. Okay, all right. I digress. I digress because you're not getting. What are the people supposed to do when they come together? How are they going to get a house when they get married? What they going to do if his credit's not good? You're telling me I'm supposed to take on a husband and help him build his credit? He should already come to me with some kind of credit where we can build something together. But if I'm stressed out because every time I look, a car is being taken or something, because this has happened to people in life that I know, because they did have grace for that. So
what you're preaching is color purple technology. The whole thing is I'm marrying the wrong man. I am marrying the wrong man. So when a man come to you, and I ain't got to ask him his credit score to know how his finances are. I don't have to ask nobody their credit score when I come in contact with you. That's the whole point. So if I see you got a relationship with God, you a hard worker, I can build with you.
that's interesting. Like I said, my parents and everybody before me always said you need to. That's important to know. But yeah, looks like Harper said something else, and I know we got off of this red heart letter. She just, she can go get herself a lawyer because the cheating she did, I can't. So it looks like Harper said if that man gets sick or hurt, that woman needs to be able to step up. Love won't pay the mortgage. That's true. Also, God is not fixing your credit score. He will give you the strength to work in the wisdom to manage your finances. That's true too. But yeah, but as far as the red heart letter is concerned, the lady just, she can get a lawyer. Like you said, she's going to end up winning anything. She's going to be winning the whole case anyway, sadly. I hope that's not true. I hope the judge that they get actually is in his favor, because that's just not fair if he's going to have to give her half.
But like I said, I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, the most important thing.
Hold on, we got another person in the chat. This is Cheers from Germany. Hello, Germany. Wow, awesome.
Don't marry a man, don't have a relationship with God. If they ain't got a serious relationship with God, you need to let it go. And if a woman asks you what your credit score is, you need to go. That's a business deal.
I don't agree with that. If she's showing you hers, then she's obviously not trying to take your money. She's just trying to make sure that you're coming into the marriage.
What do First Corinthians chapter 13 say?
What'd you say?
What do 1 Corinthians chapter 13 say?
If you have it in front of you, read it.
No, I don't got it in front of me.
I don't have it in front of me. Would you like me to find
it? Did it say? Did it say anything about a credit score?
Doesn't say anything about, but Luke, we live in the world, right? So we're in the world, and we do know that America operates by credit, right? Everything that you need in our country, you have to have credit for. Even student loans. She's talking about a student loan. She had to have credit. There's different things you're going to need that for. I told you, I never asked. But when I heard stories from friends and people I know, I actually felt bad that I never did ask that, because I heard horror stories from people who didn't ask, and everything trickled down in their relationship because they didn't ask. So everything was good. Love. You can sprinkle love on things,
but you're not saying, okay. See, what you are not giving me is whether the person had a relationship with God.
I don't know. They weren't my man.
But that's the whole point. But if you know their story, then I'm sure you know that
people who have a relationship with God don't have struggles with credit. That's what you're saying. A godly man he can't have bad credit.
See,
because I can see a godly man, but if he has bad credit, he might have poor management skills. I'm supposed to help him with that. He
We
should
gonna end
already
that
come
right
to
there
me,
because see
and I
what
can
you're
help
doing,
him as
yeah,
we go.
only
But I
thing you're
can't fix that
perpetuating,
if he's coming
all
to
you're
me like that.
perpetuating is again, I said what the keys is to marriage for anybody. Make sure that man got a relationship with God. That's it. Because God take care of it all. There's nothing he can't fix. See what you're saying? Well, God can't fix that man.
I didn't
That's
say that.
yes, you are.
I didn't
Because
say that. I said I shouldn't have to fix him. I
we
shouldn't
have to
have to
walk by faith,
walk
sister.
down the aisle with somebody and hope that in the future we'll be able to buy a house together.
But what you got away from,
That's
again,
crazy.
you focusing on credit.
That's what we were talking about.
But
We started talking about that.
okay, for the record, because we got to end this. The girl that we just talked about, let's say that's all she was thinking about. Yeah, he had excellent credit. See, what did it get him?
And I said to
No.
you, as
Don't give me
I
nothing but what
said,
did it get him?
if the woman is
Answer the
showing you her
question.
credit,
Ma'am, answer
let's
the
be
question.
equally yoked
I
together.
don't want, ma'am, we don't
That
care
means
about the
I'm
credit because
okay.
Men don't care about your money. We don't
I'm
care about
showing
your
you
money.
my credit, so I'm
I
asking you
don't care
yours.
about your credit.
It's the
I
same thing.
don't
Hold
care.
on.
I'm not concerned with your
It's the
money.
same
I'm
thing
not
as if
concerned with your credit.
it's the same thing as if you asked me how many people I slept with before you. I'm
It's
going to
not
ask you
the
the
same
same thing.
because
How
see,
many
if
people you sleep with before
there's a
me? It can
number
hurt me
of,
too.
ma'am, if there's 80% of women that are divorcing their husbands, not because of cheating, but because they're not happy. That's why you asked that question. The question of credit, again, I can base it off of the man I'm talking to.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm marrying the
I like
wrong
what
man.
Harper said. Harper said, if a man has a relationship with God, he will get his own house in order before taking a wife. Exactly.
Thank you, Harper. That's what we're saying. Marry the man that got his life together with God. You cannot go out here marrying men that don't have their stuff together and expect godly things. That's what you're advocating.
No, we were talking about you saying you wouldn't even tell us. You were talking about you saying you wouldn't even tell
women who married men who didn't have relationships with God.
No, but you were saying that you wouldn't even share your credit score with someone, even if I came to the table and
because the woman just said she just milked the heck out of the brother that in the red letter. If she would have came in and said, "Okay, what's your credit score?" Well, my credit score is 800. Oh yeah, you a winner. Because see now, no, stop. Wait,
what you're not hearing is I would tell him my score. I would come to the table and say, "Well, here, this is my score."
Yeah, she could have told him her score. What happened to him?
That's crazy. Apparently, her credit score was not good because she can't pay for nothing. She's not her.
From a man perspective, it's a business deal. She can say, she can show me she got 700 credit. But if I'm paying her mother hospital bills, her car note, and all the other stuff, and she still go out and cheat, see, it made no difference. You ask me my credit score, I'm out the door, buddy. That's a red flag.
Okay.
I'm going to take care of mine. When we get together, I'm going to take care of mine. I don't need your credit score. I don't need you to have no money. A man will marry a woman with no money. Point and blank. Boaz married Ruth. It's not based off of your finances. Yeah, in today's time, I can agree with Harper because, see, we work paycheck to paycheck. But at this point in time, I wouldn't base my relationship off of what you make as a wife. Because I'm gonna make my money. I don't want you taking care of me.
But no, it wasn't about taking care of you. When you have credit, you got to get things together in a marriage.
Ma'am.
Okay, that's what that's about.
Harper said, generally, when a brother got his stuff together and you have a relationship with God, you will see it.
Yeah, he would already have his house in order before he tries to take on a wife. But yeah.
Ma'am, see, the reason I disagree with some of that is because you were designed to be a helpmeet. See, when a man is climbing a mountain, I can appreciate you more with me while I'm climbing the mountain. If I'm at the top of the mountain and I done made it, I really don't need you. And that's how I'm gonna treat you. I don't need you because I got here without you. So I'm saying that's why God created you to be a helpmeet. Your job is to push that brother to where he needs to go. I'm going to support him. I'm going to speak life into him. That's what we got the difference at.
Okay.
But like I said, you could go out here and touch. That's one of the things they talk about as far as.
I know what it is to be a helpmeet, but okay.
But that's the job. You're
Okay.
help. And so God did not make him perfect. That's why he created the woman to be a suitable helpmeet. And that's where we get it twisted at. Because now everybody want the man to have a finished product. And if I can make this by myself, I don't need you. And then I'm gonna have a mindset like that. Because I don't need you. Like I hear women all the time say, well, you know what? I make $150,000. Will you marry the manager at McDonald's? No. Why not? Because I had a lady just today say that same thing. She said, well, she couldn't respect or be submissive to a man she made more money than.
Well, but I don't know. We have some broken women out here. This woman for sure. But we do need to wrap this up because my battery's dying. My battery's dying over here. So, but for this woman, go ahead and get you a lawyer, and that's basically all we can say.
I don't even know why she asked that. She probably had a lawyer when she wrote the letter.
Probably.
Because she gonna get half.
Yeah.
That's why I wouldn't answer no question about my because this is what it is. You can plan around my credit score. You be like, oh yeah, I got this. I got a sucker on the line.
Well, you can. That's what I was saying, Luke. And I think you misunderstood me. But obviously, if you're finding somebody that's the godly, I wasn't talking about a worldly person. I was just saying for my preference, everybody to each its own. There's no wrong answer. If you don't want somebody to know your score, then so be it. For myself, I'd never asked. Okay. So, but I'm saying that I was always taught to. By my parents. Hey, that's important to know. It is important. So to each its own with the whole credit score thing. And I'm not saying go giving your credit score to somebody who has a 400 credit score. Obviously, she's looking for a come up or whatever the case might be. I'm saying that, if she's trying to say, okay, I want to make sure I'm going this, nothing's
going to be stressful. Have 700, 800, 900 credit. Okay. Because she wasn't working. See that man? No, the man put the bills in her name.
And for her, we know
she never worked to get it. That's my point. Yeah. And she would show you her credit, and it still wouldn't make a difference as to what she got. And she can act long enough to get you to marry her. Like I said, we're gonna watch the video.
That's a good question for people in the chat. Like, is it important to know your mate's credit score before you get married? Is that important? Somebody put it in the chat. And if the chat disappears because our live stream, put it in the comments. Let's talk about it. Is it important to know your mate when you're getting married? Is that important to you? Yes or no? And for this woman, go ahead and call the lawyer. And I just feel bad about that whole situation. And hopefully going forward that this is a lesson to you that it's better to just be faithful, to get in a relationship with someone who was providing for you and taking care of your mother. And this is what they got, that's a sad thing. And I hope that a lesson is learned in this. So, but Luke, we do need to wrap this up because my camera is dying. So,
you want to keep talking? I'm going. Let's go. It was wonderful, and I hope everybody enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed the podcast, by all means, like, subscribe, and share. Because if you felt it, and like I said, don't be selfish. Share. Let's put it out because we're growing, and we want these things to happen. And we want to continue to put out this type of stuff. By all means, like, subscribe.
And real quick, Harper said they should know the credit score. Let me see. They should know the credit score and their relationship with money. Yes, that's important because if the person is bad with money, He could have a gambling, or she could be a gambler. That's important because that's an addiction, and I
Okay,
need
so
to know if
before
you
we
have
end,
that going
a
forward.
person, hold on. A person that's a gambler, do it sound like you got a relationship with God?
All have sinned and come
Yeah,
short of the
see,
glory of God.
okay,
There
come on,
are some
right
men
here.
of God who are
Have
out
have a
there
good night.
in the
Have a good night.
casinos.
Again, what I said was a real relationship with God. I didn't say none of this fake stuff.
Luke,
When I
I get what you're saying, but honest to
no,
goodness,
you're not
if
getting it.
and that's why it's important to talk. Because if that person doesn't, I wouldn't be dating that person.
The
That's why
point
you got to
here
have that conversation,
the
because I
point
need to make a
here
decision if that
the
person's
point
for
here,
me.
the
If I go into a relationship not asking questions, I'm going to end up with somebody that I'm going to resent later on.
nobody
So let's
said
put everything on the table. So